Robert Downey Jr. may have put the kibosh on Iron Man 4, but who needs your own movie when you can just keep hanging out in other people's films? Marvel and Sony announced this week that Downey has officially joined the cast of Spider-Man: Homecoming. Naturally, there's no word yet on how prominent Tony Stark will feature in the movie. It could just be a cameo like the Falcon and Iron Man, or he could possibly have a larger role as a mentor figure for the new Spider-Man. One way or the other, we'll find out on July 7th, 2017, which is more than can be said about the Inhumans movie. In an interview with Collider, Marvel Studios' Paul Feig said that Inhumans, which has already been pushed to 2019 to squeeze Spider-Man into the schedule, may get bumped again to make room for Ant-Man and the Wasp, along with a new Indiana Jones movie. Nothing is set in stone, but don't be surprised if you don't hear anything out of Black Bolt and his royal family until at least 2020. Meanwhile, over in TV land, the BBC has announced that Pearl Mackie will join Peter Capaldi for the next season of Doctor Who as the new companion, Bill. The introductory clip doesn't reveal much about Bill, except that she's fond of inappropriate questions and might be from the 1980s. Either way, we probably won't find out much more for quite a while. Other than the Christmas special, the Doctor's taking 2016 off and won't return until sometime next year. But if you need something to pass the time, Blizzard has announced that the 6th expansion for World of Warcraft will hit on August 30th. World of Warcraft Legion will introduce a new Demon Hunter class to the game as the Alliance and Horde battle against the Burning Legion. Finally, while gamers may be struggling to play Star Fox Zero, at least Nintendo has made it easy to watch the game. Produced in collaboration with Production IG and WIT Studios, Nintendo published Star Fox Zero: The Battle Begins, a 15-minute animated short designed to introduce players to the world of Star Fox.
Switching to all range mode. You're mine. Incoming from behind. Use your brakes!
Moving on to this week's releases, in theaters this week we have Keanu. Kay and Peele are hitting the big screen as they navigate the gang world in search of their beloved lost kitten. Yes, I said kitten. And speaking of furry animals having adventures, Ratchet and Clank. Where the heck did this come from? The PlayStation mainstay has been on hiatus since 2013, but this month not only has the action platformer seen a remake for the PS4, it's getting a complimentary theatrical release to go with it. But even more anticipated than the movies this week is Game of Thrones Season 6, starting up tonight. Now that the show is caught up with the books, it's anybody's guess what'll happen next in Westeros. Will the Lannisters pay their debts? Will Arya continue to kick ass? And how long are they going to pretend that Jon Snow is really dead? Looks like we're all going to find out together, especially since this year HBO now has HBO Go available for the non-Apple carrying masses. Over in video games, Bandai Namco's Lost Reavers is coming out this week for the Wii U. The co-op treasure hunting game is a free-to-play action RPG available exclusively on Nintendo's eShop. Also free-to-play this week is Mini Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. If you have a bunch of Amiibo you don't know what to do with, this game will unlock thematically appropriate challenge levels to play around with. Over on the PC, things are getting creepy with Corpse Party. The popular story-driven RPG is getting an English adaptation by Xseed Games. Surprisingly enough, considering current trends towards censorship, Xseed Games has assured fans that both the PC game and upcoming 3DS game will be uncensored from their Japanese counterparts. Next up, there's Cornerstone, the Song of Tyrone. Are you really desperate for a new Zelda game and don't want to replay the Wind Waker again? Really super desperate? Then this may be the game for you. Or you could play The East New World, a retro-inspired action platformer that reminds me a lot of Rogue Legacy. With more than 20 weapons, costumes, and abilities, this Metroidvania-style platformer may be one to keep an eye out on. Next up, there's Wailing Heights, and I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what this game is about, but it certainly looks pretty, and the music in the trailer is a lot of fun.
Ready for adventure? We love to sing for you. And if you let us fight you, you can be a dippy too. We are the Death.
On a more serious note, there's Emerge, Cities of the Apocalypse. Developed by one guy over 4 years, Emerge puts you in control of putting together a ragtag band of zombie apocalypse survivors to regain control of your city, presumably through a series of tower defense style levels. Another one to keep an eye out for. And finally, if you're nostalgic for the aesthetic of the original PlayStation era, there's Back to 1995, a survival horror title that seems to have gone through a lot of effort to look really old. I guess if intentionally making games look like old NES games can be a thing, making them look like old PlayStation games can have a market too. And that brings us to this week's awesome video. You might remember Mega Steakman from last year's Legend of Zelda-inspired Game of Thrones opening. Well, now he's gone all the way, combining the best elements of both franchises in a short fan film.
Oh, you've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
That's everything for this week, so what's your favorite Game of Thrones theory? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe, pass this video around to your friends, and have a great week.